We got closed caption though, right?
Yeah, I'll put subtitles.
Yeah. So he got in touch with Matty Smalls, and we went over to, I guess, Sika's house.
Matty Smalls.
Matty Smalls, who was in 3 Minute Warning. He was Rosie.
Okay, so at the time he was local.
He was local.
Okay.
Matty Smalls. I don't. They had already done the Samoan Gangster thing. He was part of that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They'd already done that with ECW, but he was back here now. This was maybe just pre-ECW fold. You know, just right in that time. We went over to his house, and he was like, "Well, I'll show you a few things," and he showed us how to bump. And pretty much after, and the thing was, is we were kids and we were like, we just want to get in the ring. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty much everybody's story, you know. And you don't know any better. You don't know. Okay, this guy's. I mean, we didn't pay him anything, so it's not like we lost any money on the deal. And I think maybe he was just doing like a tryout or something like that. Maybe he was just seeing where we were at or whatever. But he taught us how to bump. We took to it naturally, which means bumping, but we took to it naturally. And at that point, he was like, all right, now I'm going to teach you how to do an avalanche in the corner. And for people who have seen Matty Smalls, he's fucking huge. So he did that, and I didn't know.
Avalanche being like a body splash.
Right, we're in the corner, he's coming at us, there's nowhere to go, and I died twice that day.
Sure.
I don't know if that was him taking advantage of kids, or if, you know, beating them up saying, you know, welcome to the business, bitch, or, you know, whatever it was. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't care. I've never had an ounce of heat with Matty. I've never had an ounce of heat with Eggy. None of that. But then, I mean, we were kids. And the subject of price came up, and it's like, well, shit, we don't even have jobs.
Uh-huh.
You know? Or maybe we did. I don't even know. But it wasn't an option at that time. So we kept doing the backyard thing forever, it seemed like.
Now, what were you guys using for like a ring? As far as, I mean, what was this? Just you and some of your buddies, like
just goofing off on a
body
trampoline.
slamming
They
each
had a
other?
ring.
I mean, would people watch you?
Yeah, we'd have shows. People come in. Sometimes we went to another deal where people paid and all this stuff. There's other stuff.
People paid to get into backyard shows?
Yeah, go figure.
And you guys, would you just use that money
to upgrade
style and profile, or would you?
No, to upgrade the equipment and upgrade the, you know, if the ring needed repairs and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I never got paid for it. I mean,
right.
It was backyard wrestling. I mean, it was for fun.
Okay.
We weren't trying to become. Well, I wasn't trying to become, you know, the next WWE champion from the backyard. I don't know if I could say the same thing about Eric, but.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. And so from then on, or from that point, we there's a kid named Damien that used to backyard with us. Good kid. Just, I mean, I always thought he had enough to train and go forward to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
He had talked to or was buddies with Danny Rowland.
Damien, this kid who backyard knew Danny Rowland.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't know how they met. I don't know what happened. But he knew Danny Rowland. He was doing some video work for him or something like that. And he said, I want to watch you guys in a backyard show.
Uh-huh.
Well, at the time, it was like there wasn't one coming up or something like that, and Danny had a window because Danny's more important than Jesus. And, you know, the president, you know, gets put on hold for Danny Rowland. And he came out on just was a Saturday.
Uh-huh.
And it was him and Bob Liddell, and they came out and they watched
Bob Liddell,
the webmaster for Gulf Coast, and they came out and they just kind of hung out and watched us really just screw around in the ring, not knowing what the hell.
This is your backyard ring?
Yeah, just, you know, screwing around. And he was like, all right, well, I'll train you guys. Well, prior to this, Eric had talked to Bobby Dahl online,
uh-huh.
and had just pissed him off.
Pissed
Bobby off.
Pissed Bobby off.
Yes.
This was after he had already said he wasn't going to train you guys.
Right. And Eric took that personally. And maybe I did too, I don't remember. But, and I probably did, to be honest. I probably took it personally too. And Eric had pissed him off online talking to him, just giving him hell.
Mm-hmm.
that's important later.
Okay.
So Danny says, I'll train you. We're going to use Bobby Doll's school.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I must have had heat mentally with Bobby at the time.
Okay.
Because of all this, because I said, Bobby Doll's school, that guy's an asshole.
Right.
You know? And so we went to a PWA show at the building.
At the school?
Right, the old school. Watching the show, you know, I had a good time, you know. I'd seen Jerry Reiner wrestle before at local shows. I actually got his autograph at a fairground show one time because he's about 30 years older than me. And, you know, and then and I saw him and I saw Scott Armstrong and Bobby and Danny wrestle. And at this time, Danny is like, oh, I met this guy and now he's in the ring. You know, that's cool. And Amazing Cruz wrestled, God knows who at the time. Oh, the Hellfire Club at the time, Havoc and Red. And I was like, wow, these guys are great, you know. Amazing Cruz, they're awesome. You know, I could get in there and have a good time with them. You know, sometimes I guess perception's not always true, right? And so we talked to Danny and we talked to Bobby and we worked out a payment system and it just worked out. And we started training at Bobby's school under Danny. Now, I mean, you want me to go into training from here? Or?
Yeah. I mean, physically, when you, I guess, worked to deal with Danny financially, you guys had worked out prices and stuff.
Well, the thing was, is it was almost like we were doing double whammy deal for, I was paying Danny to train me, but I was paying Bobby to use the school.
So you were
Two payments.
Okay. So you had to pay to use his ring, essentially.
Right. That, I think, might have been milking money out of kids.
Okay.
Like, taking your dreams and making $1 off of it.
All right.
But whatever. That's the way wrestling
Physically,
works.
how were you able to take it? You were 21 at the time?
20, 21, 20, I think.
Okay. Iceberg was probably 19?
18, 19, something like that. We started physically, like, my body.
Yeah, how did you hold up?
In the long run, fine. Initially,
I mean, taking bumps.
Initially, terribly. I was at the school the first night we were training, and I'm not one of those guys that can remember the dates or anything like that, but the first night we were training, I was up at the school, and Danny, with these just Navy SEAL boot camp drills that he would put us through, which I appreciate now, but that first night, I puked my brains out. I mean, shit was coming from my toes up. I mean, I was throwing up like crazy.
I can attest to that.
And I went in the little shithole PWA bathroom, which was worse than if I would have thrown up on the ground. That bathroom, all the stories that come with that bathroom, I mean, it looked like the enchanted forest inside the toilet. And so I was like, fuck this, I gotta go get some fresh air, guys.
Right.
So I walked outside and was puking up whole french fries. I mean, just insane amounts of puke, just blah. And Jerry Reiner, that son of a bitch, came around to me and I'm hunched over, just losing everything that I ate for the last month and a half. And Jerry just comes up and goes, "You doing all right there, kid? Pro wrestling's easy, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, man, son of a bitch."
What'd you expect?
And that's the thing. And Jerry was critical as hell when I was training. Critical as hell. And I was like, I am never going to like this guy. And I stuck to that. And I'm just kidding. I like Jerry. But I stuck. But Jerry was very critical of me. And as critical, if not more critical than Danny was. Now, Danny was a tough love kind of guy, I thought, or I think, or I don't know. At the time, he'd be in the ring telling us how terrible we were. You fucked up that bump. You did this whole